number 18. We have an extractor full. Cora is going to start her up slow and let everything get seated, and by that you see that they're kind of leaning out of the notch. She'll bring it up, bring the extractor up, Cora, and I'll show the folks what we got going. Okay, go plus sign, start giving it a little juice. Okay, don't hold it. Okay, we'll make sure everything gets, I hear them settling in. And watch, I see one that's out of place. Turn it back down. Now turn the brakes on. Perfect, stopped it right where it needed to be. Okay, bring it back up.
Still in.
Still got that one frame, don't we? Did it go in yet?
No.
I think it's going to be okay. Alright, power it on up till we see it hitting the side of the tank. Whoop, don't go too many increments at once. Okay, I see, alright, I see the honey hitting the barrel, so we'll have it running here just briefly. And then I'm going to have to be ready to change out the Alright, Cora, what I want you to do is start, give me just, let me check something here real quick. Alright, we like half an inch. Then I want you to start bringing your speed control down.
Okay.
It's coming up fast. We got a lot in that, so alright, bring your speed down. That'll probably make a bucket that's left draining. This is best done like that. Not always a very clean process. Granny, you pitch me a little rag. And that is a 60-pound pail of raw honey. Replace our dryer rack. Move the bucket.
Should we speed it back up, Daddy?
Gate open, back to running.
Definitely a darker honey.
Now speed your speeder back up.
You set this on it and you rub down.
Okay.
And it literally.
Whoa.
That's it.
So satisfying.
You should be on this side of it. It's even more satisfying. But you can see the honey coming out. And down here at the bottom.
we came out to the beehives. It's 34 degrees, wind chill's about 30. These bees are active, not super active, but they are active enough that they're coming out for cleansing flights. You can see the yellow drops in the snow. That's where they've been holding that, and they've come out and they've let it go. You can also see by these bees, they're crawling around in the snow. Some of those bees will lift and fly and return back to their hive. Most of these bees, their body temp drops them right straight down in, and they can't regain what's going on. So what happens is they perish in the snow. They land, they fall, they sink down in. These are bees that didn't make it back, so stayed on the snow too long, and they sank. What's happening is that they fly out of this box where it's super warm. Sun's got the boxes heated up. They're really warm. When this happens, you got light snow on the ground. You got a bright light above them. They come out into this, and it's just like we get. You know, you're snow blind. You can't see anything. So when they come back to the box, if they can land on the deck, they're clear to crawl on back in, and they're going to be fine. These that are hitting the snow out here, they run the risk of losing their lives, unfortunately. What we're going to see in the next few days, probably the next week or so, are the bees dragging out dead larvae, dead bees, bees that are, you know, almost matured from under the cap, especially if they brooded up when that pollen was coming in 2 weeks ago. There might not have been enough bees inside the hive to cover all that the queen laid. If that's the case, those bees on the outside of that cluster that were in the cell, they're going to die, and these bees are going to have to remove all that brood. So you'll be able to tell which ones had extra brood that they couldn't cover. These bees are very active, like I said, but they're sitting in the direct sunlight, so their hives are holding a good temperature. Don't be alarmed by this. You're not going to lose enough bees that it's going to cause these hives to collapse. This is something that you can't control. It's going to happen. You know, it's sad, it's unfortunate, but it's the way that it is in nature. So, you know, don't let it rent space that all my hives are going to crash because of what's happening. That's not the case. 2, 3, 4 days from now, you won't see any snow. These bees will be actively flying. You know, I just wanted to touch base with everybody and let them know this is common. This is what's going to happen. We expect everything to be okay. Bees are going to come through this great. We appreciate you watching. Until we see you again, roll that beautiful bee footage. How's life at Rural Route Farms, brother?
Hello, Mr. John. How you doing?
Doing good, man.
Come on up and have a seat.
Another beautiful day in Central Arkansas.
Yeah.
How you been?
In January, yeah.
Yeah, for January, bees
right.
are flying and the dandelions are blooming.
That's right.
Folks, remember Justin Lowe, Rural Route Farms, professional beekeeper. His livelihood depends on what he does. He does it very well. He does it every day. He's a real deal. Thanks for watching. All right. First swarm trap of the season that I'm going to put out this morning. It's 45, 50 degrees. That temperature right now makes absolutely zero difference to what I'm doing. We have got several of these deer stands out around on the properties. They make a great place to put your swarm traps. Short story is, that's what we're doing today. We're placing swarm traps. I hope I can educate you a little bit on it. There's different twists and techniques that everybody does something a little bit different, and that's perfectly fine. If it's working for you, stick with it. Let's get one ready. And I'm thinking that that tree has generated these swarms the last 2 years. And if it happens again, I want to capitalize on that. So this year I'm going to put 2 traps in this area in case I'm catching a first initial swarm and missing the secondary. If that's the case, I want to be ready for it. So let's go put in another one. Pulled up at the 3rd trap location, my grandparents' old house. I caught bees here last year. I'm going to put another trap in, hope for the best again this year. Bees are kind of like a buck deer marking territory. They tend to use and visit the same area. So if you can capitalize on that, when you make a catch somewhere, put a catch box back there the next year. This box is basically going to be due south. Get a lot of wind up here. Entrance reducers in place. Not real happy with that saturation. Give it a second shot. Third one installed. I just set a brand new Cordovan queen down in a hive that I'm satisfied is queenless. No eggs, got some brood caps, some aged larvae not quite ready to cap. These bees were quiet though, not like they were queenless. And I have laid the cage up here on top of the frames in the deep box. They seem to all be wanting to surface. They don't seem to be aggressive towards her. I can run them off. They tend to come back. They want a roach come up out of the bottom and back and over and out. Queen's in there with 2 attendants. She spent her last 5 days in the top of a queen rat hive with bees tending her and the attendants. Honestly think these bees are going to accept her straight away. So I'm going to release her. One more little check here. I'm going to see if I can do all of this and still film it. That may be I can't. Okay, I'm thinking don't use Gorilla Tape. I'm going to pause this and then we'll pick up when I turn her out. Okay, we've got the stopper out. I got my finger over the hole. We're going to put them right back down here again and release. She just came out and went straight down. They've gone down with her. They did not ball her, and it did not seem to bother them that she went in. They don't seem to care. about the attendance either way. Of course, the cage has got her odor on it. Okay, well, I honestly feel like that's a win. We'll come back in a few days and check on her. Till we see you again. Roll that beautiful bee footage. Thanks for watching.
What you doing, Pistol?
What's in the box?
Don't care.
I think you can kind of tell we got flames now. As I do this, I start tightening up my material. That's what's going to form that coal bed that I'm telling you about. That's what's going to hold and create your heat in the bottom. That's going to run your fibers, your smoke. So you start putting a few of those in and creating a little bit heavier base. You can tell it's still got a good flame. The flames are going to ignite the small particles that I've put in. We're doing every bit of this is we're just making that coal base. We're not going to count on that being our smoke for the day. Sometimes it takes a heavier paper, a crepe paper. I've used cardboard. But you gotta get that base built. And it is aggravating when you're in the bee yard and you're working a hive and you've got this done and you set it down and for 5-10 minutes and it goes out. You pick it up and you got nothing. Well, you're back to the drawing board. Rebuild. Okay, let me take a look down in here. We've got a good plume of fire in the bottom. We know we've made a good base. And we're ready to add a little bit heavier these cotton fibers are great. All right, you still see the flame? It's coming out from underneath the fuel. Now we're starting to get smoke. But I can give it a little extra air. I'm making those coals in the bottom. Good burst of flame comes out from under it. We're gonna get serious. We're gonna add the final amount of smoke and we're lit, and that will stay lit till you dump it out, cork the smoker, and decide you're finished using it for the day. But you're lit, you got a good strong base in the bottom, and I'll promise you that's a good amount of smoke, good clean smoke. That's how you light it, that's how you keep it lit. Thanks for watching. pollen's been in the tray approximately 10 minutes. That will back out. Clean herself up, see her pollen sacs. She didn't get a real good start due to the fact that she fell in.
Pollen sacs are on the legs.
Yes.
Okay.
See, those back legs seem to be a little chunkier than, okay, they have pollen bags right there. Here's one. See the pollen on its back end?
Yeah.
See her going ahead and resaturating those sacs, trying to work it in those bags.
Okay.
Here's one that's got a little dab on its leg. So you can immediately tell, yes, that bee's been in the feed. They're super active and they're leaving here and they're going to that feeder and back, to that feeder and back. Here's one that's been in. Now she was loaded pretty good. Now, right, this bee's got pollen loaded from there. See it in her sacs?
Mm-hmm.
They need it. They love it. Health benefits. See the gray bee? Covered in pollen. Covered in pollen. Covered in pollen. Look at her. She got it on her, packed in her bags.
Is that the recommended distance? Like, is there a certain distance that you try to aim for?
You honestly should never open feed directly at the hives. When you're open feeding at the hives, you could be promoting robbing. You could set off a feeding frenzy, and your big strong hives start resenting some of your little hives getting it, and the next thing you know, they're just cutting their losses. They're going straight to that hive and robbing out everything those bees are working for. Get your hive community feeders away from them. You know, that pollen source is 30-40 yards and around the building. These bees are having to go and work for it. So by the time they're getting there, loading and coming back, that's all that's on their mind. We got to get our share of this. Feeding too close, whether it's liquid or pollen, in my opinion, is a bad deal. So always get out away from your colonies. I kind of think maybe you're right. Man alive. Okay, I don't see a queen, do you? Alright, set that lid down. Cross cord, Gene. My goodness. Look at that.